Hello hatchlings, welcome to Flower Dragon Vlogs, it's Jasmine here, and today I wanted to talk about cancel culture. So it's 2020, and it seems as though as woke and as progressive as society has become, which is great, we seem to be forgetting that humans are inherently flawed, and it feels as though there's no room for growth anymore or improvement. People make mistakes or they do something morally reprehensible and it feels as though there is no way to come back from that. Cancel culture is also so riddled with hypocrisy and people can't seem to stick to a narrative. Gatekeeping and having a holier-than-thou attitude seems hypocritical and counterintuitive when no single person is without flaws and faults. Just because you personally would not do something because of your own moral compass does not put you above others. It puts you in a more knowledgeable position to get through to people in a positive way. This being said, it is in no way an obligation or duty to fix other people. The choices made to advocate for change and social justice are entirely up to the individual. Bigotry, discrimination, and prejudice are learned behaviors. Thus, they can be unlearned. Writing people off as a lost cause with no means of redemption is part of the problem. We need people to change. We need them to be better. People also learn at different paces, so patience and persistence is key. We live in the age of drama channels now, and personally I can't stand them. While it's always good to be informed, it's not so good to be caught up in the petty bitchiness, he said, she said bullshit. It's important to understand fact from fiction, and things can also be subjective. Now I am all for accountability, but it seems as though cancel culture has no endgame other than what it says. Basically to bully people off the internet. People are judgmental by nature, and being able to boast your opinions and hatred to a mass audience from the comfort of your own home must make it easy to forget that actions have consequences and people do have feelings. At this point, it does not seem to matter what those in the limelight do to rectify and address their past or current wrongdoings. Nothing is good enough. It's all well and fine to say, they should have done this, or said this, or gone about it this way with their apology. But what would you do in the same situation? What would any of us do? The answer will be different from person to person. The saying goes, you can't please everyone. I just wonder if the goal of cancel culture is to actually have a teachable moment and inspire growth and change, or is it to have people disappear from the face of the earth entirely? Just because someone isn't on the internet anymore doesn't mean they no longer exist. You can't cancel a human being. I just want to say, by no means do you ever have to accept an apology or like or support someone that has hurt you or that you deem to be a bad person. Also, some apologies aren't yours to forgive when it comes to race, religion, gender, or abuse. When owning up to shitty behavior, you can apologize, but however sincere, no one has to forgive you or believe you. And if that's why you're apologizing, you're doing so for the wrong reasons. I think the most important thing you can do is address your own issues, forgive yourself, and allow the time and space to become a better person. Change won't happen overnight. Learning from your wrongdoings is a process. Everyone has a threshold for what they think is morally justifiable. What offends or hurts one person won't have the same effect on another. Remember the term either all of it's okay or none of it's okay? It is hard for people to understand what is and isn't appropriate. Not everyone has the same privileges, experiences, or knowledge, so it seems counterproductive to make blanket statements like, if you support so-and-so, you are insert allegation here. It has the same energy as, if you eat meat, you're a murderer. While the sentiment is to get people to open their eyes to an ethical issue, it is often met with backlash because no one likes to be told how to think or have negative assumptions made about their character. The majority of people aren't going about their day thinking of ways to hurt others. I find it very interesting that the internet of cancel culture doesn't understand why their favorite content creators leave once addressing scandals. Honestly, what did you think was going to happen? You cannot be surprised that your favorite influencer or celeb is under fire for bad behavior when you yourself are quick to jump on the blame, shame, and hate train against others. No one is safe or untouchable in these situations. There is only so much hatred, berating, and questioning of one's character that someone can take, regardless of whether this negative response was justified. People have their limits, people have empathy, people have guilt, and their own lives going on just like anyone else. It's like the internet just forgets that influencers and celebrities are human. They can't be put on a pedestal because they rose to fame or gained a large following. They will fuck up. They will disappoint you. When you are that popular, your every move is watched and past discrepancies will be brought up. Drama channels or paparazzi will give your shame coverage. I think to grow as a society, we do need to acknowledge the past, especially in regards to what was acceptable and what was ignored a decade ago. People are the product of the time they are living in. I think we need to be mindful of that. What is acceptable now may very well not be in the future. This does not mean that unjust actions are ever okay. They are never okay, no matter what time they occurred. However, individuals cannot be solely responsible for the collective cognitive dissonance of past generations. We become more ethical when we address injustices and ensure that they are never repeated. That is growth. Now, in saying all of this, I do think it's important to call out wrongdoings where you see them, on the internet and in the real world, for healing and for the safety of others, especially when it comes to spreading awareness about criminal or unjust activity. So please give survivors as much support as you can when they come forward with their stories, because I think that's really important. If your loved ones are doing something shitty, speak up. If you have been wronged and in order to heal you need to say your piece, please do so. There may be naysayers, but there is also a lot of support out there. Sometimes the healthiest thing we can do is agree to disagree. Some people may not be at a place in their life that they can understand someone else's experience. We need to be understanding and open to educating ourselves as well as others. You cannot surround yourself with yes people forever and ever and never be challenged by differences of opinion or moral codes. Allow yourself and others to take in new information. Empathy is not something that all people have. Black and white thinking will not enable you to be a critical thinker that can communicate and teach others effectively. I think personally we need to focus less on attacking others and their character and more on educating and giving factual findings so people can come to their own conclusions. You also need to be willing to accept that not everyone will feel and think the same way you do with the information they are given, even if it's the same. This doesn't necessarily make them bad people. Remember, you can only control your life, not other people's. Allow them to do the hard work. And if it comes to a point that keeping someone you deem toxic around is triggering for you, remove yourself from the situation. You don't always need to announce your departure either. Being confident in who you are as a person is all the validation you need. You do not need other people to justify your decisions and what is best for you. I guess to close, I just want to say you should never feel bad for feeling bad. What hurts you, and no one gets to decide it doesn't. No one gets to decide what fixes it. But you must also understand, not everyone will have the same heart as you. However, there are many that do. Be kind and understanding always. Educate over hate. Do your best and stay safe. Good luck out there.